Good morning and welcome to Football Nutmeg. My name is Philip and good to be here once again. It's been a long time since Nigeria lost against Tunisia in this year's AFCON. I think we've not gone live, but that was not to say that it was because of the defeat. That's why we didn't go live. But we had one or two technical issues that we're supposed to sort out. But hopefully, we are back. We are back with a bang. Today's show is the Pundit table, and I'll have really good, extreme high pundits that will come into to talk about what is going on in the transfer world. We all know that Lampard will be the next manager of Everton. We want to see how he will fare. We also want to talk about Newcastle and their inability to sign players, to bring in players. The situation of Aubameyang in Arsenal. We'll also look at it. And hopefully, some other things within that time. So um, I will wait for the guys to come into the show. That's how we do it because we want to bring the guys into the show. But let's see how far it will go. We're also supposed to come in by 10 o'clock, but we have to delay the show by 30 minutes because also we really want to test what we have going forward. But it's nice being here. It's nice to be back with you on Football Nutmeg. The usual suspect will be live on the show. Like I said, kindly subscribe and kindly like this video if you like what we are doing. Like this video, and hopefully, we're building a community here, a community of football lovers in Nigeria and across the world. It will really help us. Your like, so kindly take us to can give us 100 likes. That will be better today on the show. I can see one person watching us live now. Uh, Hopefully, everything will go as we plan. Okay, I think you just have to like our video. We are just a small channel. Our channel is not that big, so try to encourage us by liking our video if you know love what we are doing. Hopefully, everything will go as planned. Every Saturday now will be about the pundit roundtable. I'll bring in groups of pundits into the show, and we will talk about the nitty gritty of the football world and what is really going on. Let me see if I have Nonso on the line. Hello, Nonso. Can you hear me, Nonso? Hello, Nonso. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, just kill the audio, please. Just kill the. If you can hear me, please kill the video, please, so that we can use the audio for now. Okay. Let me see. I just if you can hear me, let's kill the video and let's use the audio. Just switch off your video, please. Okay. Also, cannot get in touch with us. But this community of ours, Football Nutmeg, um, we just came up with this idea. We know there are other uh, European-based channels that are out there, but we are just a small channel, and that's why we always try to tell people to help us grow. You can help us grow. You can like our video. You can subscribe to the channel, and we expected a lot during this AFCON, but we didn't really get much more as we expected. But we will keep on. AFCON was not the reason why we came live before, why this channel was set up. and it will not be the reason why we'll go off air as well. We'll just try our best. Okay, when we look at the situation in at Arsenal, um, we look at Aubameyang, and we saw former Arsenal player Emmanuel Adebayo saying that the Arsenal fan and the entire team are unforgiving. And when something like this happen, that they won't forgive you. You just have to go. Um, and I think, with all due respect to Adebayo, I think players have been forgiven going forward. People like Zaka were stripped off the handbag, and they played their football. The same thing with people like David Luiz as well. David Luiz have played, and I think currently now he's playing in Brazil Flamengo. So a whole lot of things that we can compare. We can say yes, this happened in this way, and this didn't happen in that way. But can we really say that it is all over for Aubameyang in us now? I think the pundit will come in and tell us that. Can we say so? So we will expect the pundit to come in and tell us those issues. We'll also look at other transfer market. We see how Newcastle, the transfer market has been ups and I think it's the reality for them though. They are really facing the reality, and hopefully, so is with us on the show. Let me add Nonso on the show. Hello, Nonso, can you hear me? Hello, Nonso, can you hear me now? Nonso, can you hear me? Can you put on your audio, please, if you can hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you. I can a bit. Can you hear me, please? Can you hear me now? Hello, Nonso. I can't hear you, Nonso, please. So we still have issues of connections, left, right, center. I think we thought we sorted this connection issue out. But we still have issues of connection, left, right, center. I can hear you. I can barely hear you. But if you can hear me, please, can you chat me up, please? I can hear you now. Hello? Can you hear me now? Hello, I can barely hear you. Okay, let's wait for Nonso to come back. No, I can't. I can't hear you. Okay, let's wait. I can't hear you. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay, I think we still have issues with Nonso. Okay, let's wait for the other usual suspect to come into the show, hopefully. And let's see how far it will go. We're just barely 9 minutes. Can you kindly tell us? Okay, I think with the situation in hello, John. Can you hear me? Good morning.
Good morning. I can hear you louder.
Yeah, good to see you on the show. It's been how many days since the Super Eagles lost, and we just
it's been a week.
It's been a week, but that was not the reason why we left the show actually. So, but hopefully, thank God we are back and we are back with the band.
Definitely.
We are waiting for other guys to come to join us as well. Hopefully, when they join us, but let's look at the situation with Aubameyang and Arsenal. I think that marriage is gradually coming to an end. If it will come, I think they just have from now to 11 o'clock on Monday to see if that marriage will come to an end. But what's your take about this divorce that is really um, taking place between Aubameyang and Arsenal?
Well, definitely, it was only a matter of time. Ever since Mateta has come into that team, it has never been the same for Aubameyang. When you have
Or having issues with the network again? What's happening today? Uh, Having issues with the network once more. Let's see if okay. Let's see. Wait for the guys. I think that divorce will happen. I don't know whether it will happen now, or it will happen tomorrow, or it will happen next during the summer. But that divorce will happen definitely. And I just think it's a pity. When Obama was joining Arsenal, there was a lot of prospects, a lot of hope that he will bring glory to the club, and he also didn't help matters as well. Definitely, his form this season has deepened. Um, we'll see how far it will go, how far it's been for him. His form has deepened, to be frank, and we don't really know whether he will be he he was he was the so-called savior of Arsenal going forward. As Wenger brought him in, um, he played well under Wenger, did well also under Unai Emery, also did well under Mikel Arteta. But I think, to be frank, the marriage is coming to an end, and I'm just so sad. We also saw this team with we also saw Everton. Everton, we all know that they've hired and fired managers over the course of um, time, and it has not really been good for them as well. So, what can we do? What can we say? Everton, it has not really been rosy for them. So, let's see if Frank Lampard will come and turn their fortune around. Okay, John, can you hear me? John is back on the show. Can you hear me, John? Okay, can you hear me now?
yeah,
Okay, let's go on. Let's go back to the issue of Obama. What really happened with that marriage that is gradually coming to an end now?
not often because there's no hard to Aubameyang.
I
You
can barely hear you,
right
John.
in it. Yeah,
I can barely hear you, John.
yeah.
Go ahead. I can hear you now.
There's always be it has always been an issue with my
The
even
line
when
is breaking, John.
yes, you
The line
share
is breaking, please.
cycle camera.
The line is breaking, please. Okay. Let's wait for John to come back. See. Line is breaking. Okay. But that divorce is something we that can be managed going forward, and it wasn't managed well, and both parties have parted their ways. Hopefully, how about in other transfers? Let's see if we can get the other transfers on board. Let's see. Okay, let's see other transfers on board now. We know that Marshall has moved to Seville from Manchester United. That's what really happened. Marshall has moved. Um, uh, Donny van der Beek. I think Palace are still pushing for that transfer to happen. They are pushing to sign Manchester United midfielder Donny van der Beek on loan until the end of the season. Talks between the two clubs are still ongoing over the loan fee and payment of wages. Discussions are over a straight loan deal with no option to buy. So that is it. That's what United want. Um, we also see that Spurs and Valencia are in talks for a loan deal for winger Gale. Brian Gale, I think, plays for Spurs. He was, I think, Spurs are hoping to take him out. Let's see. Hello, John. Can you hear me, John? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you loud and clear.
Okay. But I can't. But the problem is that I can't hear you. Your talk back is breaking. I can barely hear you.
Okay, Kara.
I can't hear you, please,
Yeah.
John. I can't hear you. Hello, Nonso. Can you hear me,
now?
please?
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me, John? Hello, John.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Nonso, can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay, guys. Okay. Quickly. John, I did ask you a question with regards to Arsenal and Aubameyang, the situation that is on the table now. And like I said that marriage is coming to an end gradually. And uh, do we see that marriage coming to an end before 11 p.m. UK time Monday night?
Well, this more than last week. We look at everything we have. Of the everybody.
I can barely hear you. I can still barely hear you, John. The network is not. I can barely hear you, John. Network has not been from our side today. Um, Hello, Nonso, can you hear me? Hello, Nonso, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can hear you.
Okay, good morning, Nonso.
Well,
It's nice having you on the show this morning. Okay, I hope you had the question I asked John. The situation between Aubameyang and Arsenal, that marriage is gradually coming to an end. Can we say that authoritatively that he'll be moving to either Juventus or Madrid on Monday, before Monday night, 11 o'clock?
I think it's very difficult because a bit before. He will not be on. So, of course, report I'm using to Saudi Arabia. She I don't know to say you know, and actually, but the time for that's not good. I feel for him for saying don't try
Hello, no. So I can
to
still
another
barely hear
time.
you. I
Yeah,
can still barely hear you. No, I can't.
yeah.
No. I can't hear you now. I can't hear you now. So hello,
But you get later.
hello. You can hear me? Okay, let's move on. Also, if you can hear me, your audio is muted, please. Unmute your audio, please. Okay, let's keep up with the rest of the story. Okay, but Juventus and Barcelona have approached Arsenal over Aubameyang on a loan deal. Let's see if that will happen. Like I said, we're talking about it. Okay, Spurs to miss out on 2 targets, Adama Traore and Luis Diaz. I think Luis Diaz is bound to go to Liverpool. Wenger is bound to go to Liverpool from Porto on a £45 million deal. Okay, that is it. Okay, and Pogba United's future hinges on Ragnick. That's so. Okay, I think Liverpool. Let's see, we have guys. Okay, Liverpool. I think Liverpool should, Newcastle should be able to complete the signing of Bruno Guimaraes, Brazilian midfielder from Lyon, Bruno Guimaraes. That should be confirmed before 11 o'clock. That should be it. Lampard, I think that's BBC have confirmed that Lampard should be announced on Friday. I think that job is for Lampard. Whether Frank Lampard is going to please the Goodison fans or not, we'll see. We'll know about it. Okay, moving forward. Okay, Fabrizio Romano also did say that Gio Lo Celso should be on the move as well. I think Olympique Lyon are interested in signing Giovanni Lo Celso from Tottenham Hotspur to replace Bruno Guimaraes. So if that deal goes through to Newcastle, I think that deal is almost through. Okay. I think Adama Traore is off to Barcelona. I think he should have his medical today, because he wasn't really convinced about the Newcastle and every other deal about Tottenham and the possible listen that they have. He wasn't convinced about it. Let me see. I have Bello. Hello, Bello. Good morning.
Good morning, Normal.
Yeah, good morning. Good to have you on the show this morning.
Thanks a lot. My pleasure, man.
Yeah.
How's everything?
Yeah, it's good. Good. Can you hear me clearly, please?
Yeah, I can. Can you hear me?
Good to have you on the show. I know you had an emergency, so we didn't.
Yeah.
That's why we had to pull the show to 10:30, hopefully, to see if we can accommodate your emergency. But I was asking the other guys before the line went off. I said the divorce. We want to look at Aubameyang first of all. The situation in Arsenal. Do you think that marriage is coming to an end between Arsenal and Aubameyang?
Yeah, I think the handwriting has been on the wall for the last 2 months. 2 months or so, since the whole debacle of him going to France and being fined by the club and all that. I think they've tolerated some of his excesses because Arteta saw him as kind of like his star player, a player he could build his team around, and he was working well at first when he was playing his 3-4-3 on the run to the FA Cup win, the Community Shield win, so he trusted him and said, "Oh, okay, we've done all these great things together. Now I want you for the future." I'm going to offer you this mega box. I'm going to convince the board to offer you this mega contract to keep you on so that we can build our team around you. And this guy takes the money and then, I don't know, becomes nonchalant, begins to, he would ghost in games and stuff like that. It's up to the extent where teenagers like Saka and ESR, Emil Smith Rowe, were beginning to upstage him at the club, in terms of performances, to begin to rescue us now when you have your superstar captain here who's just looking lazy and not interested and all that. I think he was tolerated for quite a while until Arteta snapped, obviously. Because I felt his pain because it felt like, oh, my trust has been betrayed. I went all out for you and you're not doing the same for me. So, I mean, he's still 32 years old. So some value can still be gotten from him, even if it's peanuts, maybe 10, 15 million. It can be sold if the right buyer comes along, and everybody can move forward. And the whole debacle of him going to AFCON early, a week or so early before the remaining people in the EPL left, as well as him also getting booted out from the Gabonese camp. I think the handwriting was that people have had enough. They've all had it to him. He can't behave like this and not even deliver on the pitch. There's certain things you can get away with when you're delivering on the pitch week in, week out. But you can't get away when you're not doing what is required of you. So I think, and they've actually done well. December, they were largely without him in December, and they picked up a few results, very good results. It was a good performance against Man City and all that.
Yeah.
So they've largely been okay without him in the team. January has not been so kind to them. I don't think they picked up any wins, but then again, they had all these injuries and suspensions and AFCON. Everything just kind of disrupted their flow. But I think with this break and players returning from AFCON, I think they should get back into rhythm. As for him,
I think for me, I have Arsenal have gone into the transfer market with the hope of signing Dosicev Vlahovic from Fiorentina and some other players left, right, center, and they've not got the deal done. Along the line, I think there's a level of I will use the word incompetent between because if you feel that you want to let Aubameyang go at the end of the day, and you can't bring in. I knew that in that deal that the agent was asking for like £15 million thereabouts agent fee, which I think was outrageous. I don't think an agent should ask £15 million. If £15 million from that deal, I don't just think so. Maybe a fee around £5 million, £7.5 million should be okay for the agent. And I think that was what got Arsenal scared to pull out from that deal. But I think the level of incompetence between Edu and Arteta, because they are the two persons running that club from top to bottom. Do you think that something have to change with respect to the way? I knew that if the players from the academy have come through, the likes of Saka, the likes of Nikita and other players. But do you think that between Edu and Arteta, something have to change when they go into the transfer market?
I think so. No, but if you look at it, they spent the most money in the Premier League during the summer. Spent 145 million or so, bringing in the likes of Ben White, Lokonga, Tavares, boys like that, young boys. Obviously, I think they are moving with a strategy. They are moving with a purpose. They don't want to buy anybody above 25. They don't want to buy people that are ill-disciplined and will not put it all out. So I think trying to sign Vlahovic was in line with the new ethos of their transfer strategy. He's 22. He bangs in goals with reckless abandon in Italy and all that.
Yeah.
So, but when you look at the whole total package, especially when you look at what Juventus had to lay out, Juventus have to lay out 150 million to get him to even play for them. 67 million transfer fee. 63 million salary over 5 years or 6 years. I can't remember what it is.
Yes, you're right.
And then the agent fees of like 15 million. That's a lot, even for a guy like Vlahovic. That's a lot of money, So missing out on him, people will say, oh, they want to eat. What's it called? sorry, they want to eat caviar with the budget of Mama Puts. That's what people will say. But I don't know. I feel like you have to find value because there are a lot of people that have gone for big money and end up not delivering. You see Jack Grealish, 100 million, and if you look at the Man City's front line, he's not even the best player there. Like you can count three, four
Exactly.
people that are better than him. So I understand their frustrations and all that, but sometimes when you
Well,
want to,
that's what the transfer market is. That's the story of the transfer market these days in Europe. Especially when
yes,
you look
yeah,
at the situation with COVID, you look at the situation with since Neymar and Mbappe were signed over
yeah,
200 and 150 million pounds. You see that transfer market is over bloated. I just think that that's the story of the transfer market. That's the true nature of what transfer market is telling us about currently now, and
exactly.
we have to live with it as fans and as football club. But sometimes you have to look for a level playing field between the club, the agents. I mean, the buying club, the agent, and the selling club. I think
Yes, yes,
there have to be a balance between those three player. What would I even say? Between those three
exactly.
group of people. Yes. Um,
But
I just
yeah, I think at the end of the day, I think I would agree with you that there's a bit of level of incompetence because when you look at it, which other guy can you get that is on the market that is at that level? Although you can also look at it and say the player did not want to go to Arsenal. He didn't want to the struggles of Arsenal. They're not in the Champions League. They're not sure of they are going to be in the Champions League. Why not just go to Juventus that you're sure will always finish top four no matter what? So that everybody can see you on the big stage all the time. So those are some of the issues. But at the end of the day, I feel like when you are trying to claw your way back into the big time, I mean, you have to just make certain sacrifices. And I think signing a guy like Vlahovic should have taken them up a notch, up to another level, because you also have, like I said, leaving at the end of the season. So who's going to lead your line eventually? These are some of the issues that are on ground that I feel like they need to tackle seriously.
okay. Going forward, let's look at Newcastle and their new found love of money from their Saudi Arabia backed owners.
Mm.
Um, do you think? Okay, let's look at the brutal nature of the brutal nature of the transfer window that has
Mm.
been showing off for Newcastle. They have the
Mm.
money, but they don't want to spend it. They want to be very, very cautious in transfer market, and they don't want to panic because they know that if they don't spend now, it's either they go down to the championship
Really? Yes.
or they narrowly stay up. So, what do you think is? I know they are getting Bruno Guimaraes from
Right.
Lyon. That deal is done
Yeah.
and dusted. It should be done and
Yeah.
dusted before 11 a.m. on Monday. They've signed Kylian Trippier, but they still need one or two players. And this morning, I was also hearing that their deal with Manchester United, that deal was off yesterday, but there are some stories that it will be on again. What do you think
We'll link
about them?
that.
What do you think about them if they do the right signing, they make the right signing? Do you think they will stay up?
So this is the problem now. When we look at some of the biggest takeovers that have happened with very rich owners in the Premier League in the
Yeah,
past, you look at Chelsea, you look at Manchester City. The year Chelsea was acquired by Abramovich, they were a top four team already. So
yes,
like when you put 200 million into a top four team, obviously they go up a notch. Do you understand?
yeah,
When you look at Man City, they were a mid-table team. They were ninth this season. The Sheikh tried to buy them from Thaksin Shinawatra, the former Prime Minister of Thailand.
yeah.
Uh, so when you look at that, there's a huge difference. Newcastle are not a mid-table team. They're not a top four team. They are a relegation team. So
Go ahead,
right
go
now,
ahead, go ahead. I'm not a Newcastle fan, though. I won't say anything about Newcastle there. But go ahead. You're right.
they spent some time in the last 5 years. They spent some time in the championship already. So they're not a top team per se. Even though they're a big club, they have history, they have tradition, they have a 50,000 capacity stadium, but they're not really a big club. But so when you look at it, they didn't expect. I don't think they expected to be fighting relegation now, compared to the way they were last season.
They also narrow. They can't say so because they also narrowly survived relegation last season as well.
They survived. If my memory serves me right, 10 points gap off of the people that came in 17th.
Yes,
Sorry, 18th.
yeah.
Yes, they were like 10 points off of them. So it's a bit comfortable. That's they were a bit comfortable. I remember they were a bit comfortable. So when you compare it to now, where they're in the trenches, they're in the real trenches, they have to get it right. Unless they've resigned their fate, unless the owners have resigned their fate that, let's just go to the championship. We'll buy these players and then with full force come back. But for now, I think their priority is staying in the Premier League. They've hired a guy that kind of, well, I was underwhelmed with signing, but all the guys they tried to sign turned them down. I know they went for Mancini, they went for Conte, and they went for other guys like that. This guy especially, this guy in Villarreal.
Former Arsenal boss, Unai Emery.
Yeah, they went for Emery. They all turned them down, so they just settled for Howie. And that is usually how it is. You don't usually get your target at first. They've bought Chris Wood from Burnley. They've bought Kieran Trippier. They've bought who else did they buy? I can't remember. They tried to sign this guy from Sevilla, centre back, but Sevilla stood.
That deal. I think they are way off on that deal. Carlos Diego.
Diego Carlos, yes.
The Brazil was it a Brazilian from
the Brazilian
from Sevilla. So I think they are off because of the way Sevilla do their business. I think we all know that. Once they say it is £50 million, they stick to £50 million.
Exactly.
Don't come with add-ons. Just bring the cash. We know how to get other players to replace this player that is going to your club. But we also know how the Premier League club also go into a deal to negotiate every transfer. Yeah. Forget about the likes of Man City, Liverpool, and others. But we all know how they go into those deals with add-ons, with other incentives to the club.
Yeah.
If he scores 100 goals, if he scores 50 goals, thereabouts. But Sevilla don't want such kind of a deal. What they want is an outright deal that they can all make. They can all get their money. Possibly, maybe not all the money, maybe in installments, but they understand that they can all go. They want to go into a deal that they know that they will get their money at the end of the day. So I think Newcastle have their work cut out, except they meet up with that £37.5 million being asked by Sevilla.
Yes, exactly. So I think it's dead on that front, and I think a centre back is something they would have needed. But for me, I think a priority should have been a midfielder, because when you look at that midfield, it's threadbare, very little talent. And signing, I think when they had they submitted a bid of 40 million, and sensing their what's the word now? Sensing their the frantic nature of the whole thing, and the fact that they were under pressure to complete a deal, Leon took advantage of the situation and told them, no, 40 million is not enough. Now they've raised the money up to 50 something million, I heard. So I think they've gotten their money, which is very, very good in my opinion. They needed somebody to support Shelby and Almiron and the likes, all those these English boys, those English brothers. I've forgotten their names. They're not really good.
The Longstaff brothers.
The Longstaff, exactly. God bless you. The Longstaff. They're not really good enough. They should be in the championship, if you ask me. So Guimaraes is a good thing. And then if something that will also be key for them is if Callum Wilson can stay fit. He's been having serious problems over the last 2 years. So
but
if he can come,
if you want, I know he's injured now, but if you have a Callum Nelson, why signing what's his name?
Chris Wood.
Chris Wood from, because I just think that they are similar.
Yeah, they're similar, but when one is out, another one can come in, because Joe Linton is not at centre forward. He's not somebody you can count on as a top 9. So I think Chris Wood as well as Callum Wilson, they can play together. They're used to playing in 4-4-2s. What's it called? Chris has done it in Burnley. Callum has done it in Bournemouth, playing with a strike partner.
Yeah.
So obviously they can complement each other. They can also play alone when the time comes. So I see the reasoning in buying him, even though he may not have been their first choice, but they needed somebody, and he's a body there. So I think that was needed. So I think this squad should be good enough to finish 17th at least until next season when they can now begin a rebuild in earnest.
How sure are you they will finish 17th?
I'm not sure, but they should be able to on paper.
Okay, moving on. Let's look at Everton. I think in the next 48 hours they should be able to announce Lampard as a new manager.
Which is I did not see that coming, but nice.
So I don't know if Frank Lampard takes this job. We saw the magic Steven Gerrard is doing in Aston Villa. I think for Gerrard the foundation has been laid already for him. Just because the foundation was there, and being with that experience he had in Rangers winning the Scottish Premier League, I think that also has gone a long way to help him steady the ship in Aston Villa. But do you think Frank Lampard can really do the same with this crop of Everton players, the likes of Richarlison, the likes of Iwobi, the likes of Calvert-Lewin, and also when you look at their midfield as well, you see a whole lot of good players have not. I think Everton have a good team, but the team has not. I think they have a good team. They have a good team, but not as good. A team that can finish at least mid-table with the crop of players that they have.
They have a good set of players. I won't call it a good team because there's a bit of disbalance in the team. In the sense that you might have 6 defenders, but 5 of them are centre backs, and then you have one centre back playing right back, another centre back playing left back. It's not the recruitment has actually been shambles the last 5, 6, 7 years since Dr. Moshiri took over the club. They've actually spent money. When you look at the figures, they're actually in top 5, top 6 of spenders in the Premier League in the last 5, 6, 7 years. But when you look at the kind of players they've gotten, I think I can count Lukaku, I can count Richarlison to a certain extent. I can count who else can I count? Lucas Digne. I don't know where Lewin came from, but I've always known him in Everton. I just assumed he was from the academy. I don't know where he came from.
Okay, Lucas Digne came from
Barcelona or Roma or something.
That should be either Barcelona or one of those Spanish clubs, thereabout.
Yeah, he came from Barcelona.
I think he has moved on. He has moved on.
To Arsenal. Yeah, I'm just counting guys from the last 5, 6, 7 years. I counted Lukaku as well as one of their best signings. They bought him for 28, sold him for 98. So when you look at 75, sorry. So when you look at all these things, the recruitment has actually been very, very bad. Let's look at this. What's his name? Ancelotti came in, big name, fanfare. He brought in James Rodriguez, big wages. Brought in Doucouré, brought in Alan, and brought in someone else. I can't remember who else he brought in. And then he worked for a period, like 3-4 months.
I think he brought in Andre. Portuguese midfielder as well.
He wasn't one and brought Gomez. He met Gomez there actually.
Okay, he met Gomez there. Okay, I did.
For a few months' time, I think. I can't remember. So he brought in all these guys, and now he has left, and they are not left with unhappy players. They had to sell James for free so that they can get the wages off their books. It's just been tough. They've hired 2. What's it called? They've hired 2 Steve Walsh. Steve Walsh was from the Leicester team that won the Premier League. He assembled the Leicester team that won the Premier League. Then top footballer Leicester. They also had he came in. He failed woefully with some bad signings, and they let him go. They now hired Marcel Brands from PSV. He came in, and he has done just as bad as Steve Walsh. So they need to revamp the whole culture of the club, the recruitment, everything. It should be a streamline so that when one manager comes, he'll come and do what he can do. If he's not good enough, you sack him. But when the next person comes, he can still use the players on ground to do what he needs to do. Not that one person will come, he'll use Hammers on the wing, the other person will come in and say, no, this guy is useless. And then all of a sudden, Hammers cannot even get on the bench. These are some of the issues, and you have such a player collecting big wages for such a small club. So it's like they need to hiring Lampard is good, it's fair enough, but what they need is not really actually a coaching change. It's a change at the boardroom level. They need the philosophy and they need to stick to it. You can't continue to spend money and continue to plunge money into their abyss. So I think that's what they need. They need to find someone or a team, if not just one person. Liverpool have a transfer. I've forgotten what they call it. They say since Brendan Rodgers, they have a transfer committee. Exactly, they have a transfer committee. The manager, the chief executive, the director of football, and one or two other persons in the club. Before they sign one player, they have to all brainstorm and say, "Okay, are you sure this is the guy for us?" That's why they hardly have bad signings, because it's not just the manager said, let's do this, and whoever you're going to bring should have the same philosophy. So that's just So that's what they need actually.
Okay, I think we have to wish Frank Lampard and his new club, Everton, all the best of luck going forward into this job.
Yeah.
It's not an easy job in the Premier League. Most of us have been watching the Premier League for years. We know how many managers have been fired and have been hired because of the pressure that has to do with money and getting the right result and staying up as well.
Yes.
Okay, finally, let's look at the AFCON. I think since Nigeria my introductory part was that of the show was that since Nigeria were booted out, we didn't come live again. But thank God today we were live. But that was not the reason actually why we didn't come live. We had some technical issues that we had to work on. We sorted it out. But I knew that going forward that there were a lot of expectation for the Super Eagles, in the sense that they won 3 out of 3 of their group matches.
Yes.
But I just thought that the Tunisians outsmarted us and out-coached Guavon as well. The Tunisian could outsmarted us and out-coached Guavon going forward, because me and you know that when you can't just be one-dimensional.
Exactly.
You can't be one-dimensional, and that's what happened to the Nigerian team. For all the whole clamoring that it was the goalkeeper's fault, it was blah blah this, it was the referee's fault. But the issue is that we cannot be one-dimensional. I don't know if you agree with me.
I totally agree with you. Now I know that Raw had his shortcomings and all that, and his football was boring, this and that. But there's something I noticed with tournament football. When you compare this our group stage to probably the last tournament we were at, the 2018 World Cup. I know people said, we qualified, we messed up, the coach messed up. But when you look at it, against Croatia, he played a 4-2-3-1. Brian Edowa left back, Mikel behind the striker, Igalo. And it seemed like Igalo was isolated in that match. The next match, he switched things up. He went with a 3-man defense, 5 midfield, and 2 Ahmed Musa and Igalo up top. We won. We beat Iceland 2-0. Then the game against Argentina, we went with 3 at the back, but Di Maria was killing us. So he switched to a back 4 in the second half and steadied the ship up. But although they had already scored that 1 goal, and it was little too late. If not for Iheanacho's miss, and Igalo also had one very easy miss.
We could have knocked Argentina out of that group stage as well.
Yeah, if not for those things, we probably would have qualified and all that. Now we came to AFCON. People were in awe of Moses Simon. I know that Moses Simon is a good player and all that. He's always there when you need him. He's hardly ever injured and all that. But this was the best version of Moses Simon we've ever seen. And at some point in time, we should have known that it wasn't always going to be like this, because we watched this guy for 4-5 years. We've never seen anything like. I don't think I've ever seen him perform like he did in that group stage.
No, I've never seen him play like this. I think I was even surprised.
I was like, what is doing?
can confidently take on players like this.
Wow,
Take on
it
players
was
without fear, without any regard. And I
exactly.
think for me, he had an excellent AFCON for
Yes,
the
yes,
entire team. The
definitely,
entire
he definitely did. You know, we beat Egypt without stress. The second game too without stress. The last game, you can say, oh, because he rested players, there was a bit of it wasn't as free flowing as the first two games and all that. But then again, you're coming up against the Tunisian side that keep the ball on the ground. Before the game, I was telling my friends, I said, "These guys, I'm actually scared of this fixture. Forget that they lost to Gambia. That loss to Gambia, they had 71% possession. They hit the bar twice. They had a lot of shots on target, but the keeper was in form. These guys keep the ball on the ground. That 42-2 is good on like to sit back and launch counter attacks and all that because you have two strikers against their two centre backs.
Yeah.
It's fine and good, but what do you do when they starve you off the ball? The first half, you could clearly see it. We did not know what to do because they only knew. Obviously, we had one, what's it called, one pattern of play.
Yeah.
We already knew it was easy to, anybody with half a brain would have known. Okay, just neutralize these guys and keep the ball, hold the ball away from them. So like there was a lot of talk about we're tired of seeing Etebo and Ndidi, we're tired of seeing Ndidi and Onyeka, they're more of the same. Let's see some dynamism, blah 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 blah. And then he said, okay, let's try Aribo and Ndidi. And then he also brought in Wakali. The fact that he brought in Wakali was like, oh, okay, don't worry, we are going to change things. We're going to use more of the ball in midfield and all that. And he displayed in the third game that, oh, sorry, excuse me, that he's such a player that can dictate play from deep and all that. But I was surprised that when things were not going our way and stuff, the boy, well, you could have said, oh, maybe he planned to bring him on later, but the red card changed things for the coach and all that. But when you look at it, you could have seen that you have a squad of 24 for a reason, a squad of 23, 24 for a reason. You should be able to tweak things according to opponents sometimes. You could have as well started Wakali in that midfield. Let Aribo and Wakali be there, controlling things because they also use three midfielders. We used to. So, like, I don't know. Like you said, we were outcoached and everything. Now the problem for me now is the morale going into the World Cup qualifiers. It will be a travesty. It will be a huge travesty if we don't qualify for the World Cup. I don't know how I would feel. I know a lot of Nigerians will be disappointed and all that, but I can't imagine. The last time we were not at the World Cup was 2006. Most of the Nigerian football fans were still children, secondary school going children. Then some were still in primary school. A lot of people don't know what it means for Nigeria not to be at the World Cup. We're usually all representing. So I hope that they don't between the transition from Iguavon to the new coach. I don't know how to pronounce his name now. From Iguavon to the new coach between now and March, when those matches will be played. I hope that I don't want to speak. I don't want to.
I think for me, we have the players that can do the job.
Yeah,
what we don't have, what we don't have is the right application, and I keep on saying it about. If you watch my previous shows, I had on my channel, you discover that I keep on talking about coaching in Africa. Yes, we have 9 foreign coaches in the AFCON. We've had some of them are also homegrown.
I think
homegrown
coaches. 11 on the average.
But the problem I have with coaching in Africa is being the dynamism. I think that being dynamic has been so poor by coaches in Africa, and something has to be done going forward with regards to that. For me, I was thinking of Guavon after knowing fully well that Moses Simon was marked, and Chikwueze has not been really doing very well. For me, I think for once I can tell Moses Simon, okay, Moses Simon, please come to the other side of the wing. Chikwueze go back to the bench, bring in Ejuke on the other side of the wing.
Yes.
That's one. Or rather, I can go with a 3 at the back. Bring the ball to the midfield. Allow my midfielders to keep the ball. Therefore, it will create a convergence of those players, of the Tunisian players to the middle. Then allow your two wing backs to bump in from that. There are a lot of things he could have done. We are not coaches, but we see these things being done in European football time and time again, and it gives these European coaches the results. Me and you know about it. We know about it. It gives them results. It is not rocket science. It is not just this is what happened. We see it happen time and time again, and that is why Europe. I would say it's no matter what anybody. Europe is the what word will I even use? Is the biggest ground for any person that wants to go for coaching. I'm telling you, that's where you can get it. Except if you don't want to be a coach going forward. And I just think that's where Guavon really didn't get it right.
No, if you ask me, we're rather unlucky, to be honest, because they had all their COVID issues.
Exactly.
We so I 9 times out of 10, I said 9 times out of 10, I feel like we win that match. This time we just played, it was just the one time, and the red card also didn't help. There's been a debate about whether it was a red card or not, but
let's forget about it. We know what tackles. The tackles these days, we know what they are all about when it comes to tackles. If it's dangerous, you are off. We saw the match between Brazil and Ecuador, and some controversies that we didn't really like thereabout. I think most of the tackles in that, especially from Alisson as well, was a red card. For me, that was a red card offense, but it was rescinded. But I think refereeing globally, as I think it has been substandard with the introduction of VAR. That's what I think.
Yes,
because there's so much interference. There's so much interference from the VAR, so much that has been
I totally agree. The referees are not taking charge of their matches. Always they want to defer to VAR, And then in AFCON, the issue I had was every time. Did you watch the game against the Senegalese game against Comoros?
Yes, I did.
Oh my God, that was a travesty, a referee travesty. The 2 red cards he gave Comoros were not red cards in my books. The free kick he gave. How can 2 people have a clash of heads and you give one person a red card? Who does that?
The clash of heads is clash of heads now. That clash of heads are meant to protect those players. You're meant to protect.
He gave a red card. I didn't understand it. It was really weird. And every time they go to the VAR screen, they come back and give a red card. It doesn't have to be so. You can go and say, "Oh, I made the right decision. It should have been a yellow." But they'll go to especially at AFCON, they'll go to the screen, look at it once they come back.
I mentioned so with some of my colleagues as well in the office, and they said anytime the referee just go to the VAR, forget about it. That's
red card. It's not that. It shouldn't be so. It shouldn't be that way. It was really sad. But
I do see that. Okay, matches for today in the AFCON. Just quickly, because we are coming towards the end of the show, we see Gambia play Cameroon. I think the hosts are still in the tournament, and that's what is keeping the tournament alive. Just the numbers of fans that are coming to the stadium.
Yeah.
What's your take about that in 30 seconds, please?
The whole COVID thing has been very funny because we are hearing that Gambia have said they don't have any COVID case. Cameroon said they have COVID cases. They said no, they've taken out independent tests and all their players are COVID free. So everybody's going to be available for the match. I don't know what CAF has to say about all that, but it'll be interesting to see what happens on the pitch because everybody
that should not come off from Cameroon. If Gambia are saying that they don't have COVID cases, that should not come off for Cameroon.
Yeah. So I know Eto came out to say, we don't cheat, blah 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 blah. If they cheat, I'll be angry. They know I'll be angry. But that's just the media circus around the game. But on paper, I think Cameroon should have an easy victory. Gambia have tried. This is their first tournament, I think, and they've gone all the way to the quarterfinals. This is a fairy tale for them. I think if they crash out now, they cannot still be proud of.
I will ask you one question at the end of the show, and you tell me who you give me a straight answer. Don't beat by the bush. Just give me a straight answer. So just be sure of what you know what I'm talking about. I will ask you those questions. So quickly, between Burkina Faso and Tunisia, I think they've gotten their COVID cases behind them going forward. So can they really outsmart once again outsmart the Burkina Babes the way they did to the Super Eagles?
No, I put my money on Burkina Faso to get a victory. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they've seen what the Tunisians are all about and they can be prepared. Once you are able to figure them out, I think they should not be a problem for you.
Okay, fine. We have a North African derby between Egypt and Morocco. So we know that for me, but the player of the tournament is in this group, which is Hakaf Hakimi. They'll be playing tomorrow. I think he's my player of the tournament. I don't know who is your player of the tournament, but
no, he's actually been very, very good.
So what do you think about this match between Egypt and Morocco?
Yeah, I mean, normally on paper, one would say Morocco should end this thing before the 80th minute, But like, it's a rivalry. It's a North African rivalry, so a lot of other things are going to be at play.
Exactly.
Adrenaline going to be overflowing. You can't really account for some of these things, when it comes to.
I think for me, I think this match is going to be won based on the team that have the most calmest emotion on that pitch.
Yes, I think so too.
Because it's all about in derbies like this. Even we see it in the Manchester derby, we see it in the Merseyside derby, we also see it in the Madrid derby, and also in the Italian derby as well. That the team with the calmest side, the team with the calmest emotion, that keep their emotions intact. They will go into these matches and pick out something, and that's what I think.
Exactly, I think so too.
Finally, we have the West African derby as well between Equatorial Guinea. Equatorial Guinea is not in West Africa. Am I?
Kind of.
I think they should be in Central Africa. So, but we see this derby, Senegal, Equatorial Guinea. So, finally, what's your take? Because we know that Senegal have not been firing the way we saw them in 2019 from all cylinders. They've been struggling left, right, center. Even in their last game as well, they did struggle. Though they won 2-0, but they did struggle. So, who will come out on top at the end of the day?
With the way they struggle to find goals, and with the fact that Equatorial Guinea they're not cheerful givers. I mean, one can easily see this one going to penalties or extra time. So, I would say Senegal, because Senegal actually have a world-class keeper in Edouard Mendy. So, at the end of the day, if it comes down to penalty saves and all that, I think I'll put my money on Senegal. So let me just say Senegal in extra time.
Okay. Finally, I think Senegal have also not conceded a goal in this tournament. That's what is going well for them. Finally, we only have one Premier League match today. I think between Burnley and Watford.
Yes.
That should be in the evening there about 7 p.m. Nigerian time. So because the EPL is currently on a mini break, and I think that's good. We've been looking for the EPL has been looking for a break like this.
Exactly.
I think they've gotten one. My final question to you now. This is my final question to you. Who do you think will win the AFCON between these teams that are? We have Morocco, we have Egypt, we have Cameroon. We have Senegal that have not won it before. From these 4 teams, who do you think? We also have Tunisia as well. So let me add Tunisia to that. From these 5 teams, who do you think will win the AFCON?
Before the tournament started, I said my dark horses were Burkina Faso. My favorites were Cameroon and Algeria. Algeria have dropped by the side. So I guess the fact that Cameroon are home, and some of them have won this thing before. They know what it means to win this thing. They won it in 2017. So a core of the players actually know what it means to win something for your country, and that emotion and the fact that they are home might just give them the edge. So I'm still going to say Cameroon are still favorites to win it. They're still my favorites to win this.
Okay. I'll hold you to that by next week. By next week, when the final, maybe after the final, I'll hold you to that. When I have you on the show after the final, I'll
no
still have
problem.
you before the final as well. So It's nice having you on the show today, and thank you
My,
for being here.
yeah.
Let me just see. We have come in. Hold on. Just okay. We'll hope to have you on the show on Wednesday. Hopefully, I'll call you to ask about your schedule for Wednesday.
No
Hope
problem.
to have you on the show on Wednesday. If we can't have you on the show, we'll have you on Friday on the show. I think by then, possibly, I think the EPL should be back for some teams.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so we'll have you on that show on those possibly on Wednesday or on Friday. But
No,
you'll be our constant guest on the pundit table. This show is the pundit table.
no
So
problem.
you will be our constant guest on this every Saturday. So we come to look at everything that have happened all around Europe and the fixtures as well. So thank you for being part of this show. I really
No,
appreciate you.
my pleasure. My pleasure.
I will share your video on our usual platform. So I'm on that platform. You know the platform I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
hopefully
yeah.
I'll have you and you're in Abuja, I guess, Abi.
Yes, yes.
I'll have you and Hamza. Hamza have been in my show, but I don't know why. Hamza have been in my show like twice, to be frank. He has been
Yeah,
on my
yeah.
show. He has been on my show like twice. So I'll have you and Hamza on the show next week Saturday. I promise you.
No problem.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay, it's nice having Bello on the show, and thank you so much for watching. Kindly subscribe to our channel. Kindly like this video if you like what we are doing. Please try and help us to grow the channel. We are just a small channel for Nigeria. Please try and help us grow this channel. Thank you so much, and do have a wonderful day. We'll be back to show them to give a live update between Cameroon and Gambia today, and the other match between Burkina Faso and Tunisia today. Thank you so much.